Let's take a dive deeper into the more sophisticated world of Midjourney rendering. We're going to be creating some of these minimal, modernistic, Soviet-inspired images, all within a vintage camera style. So if you've seen some of my previous videos, you know about my 2-4-2 prompting structure, where simply the first part of the prompt is you're literally describing the objects, the camera view, and the scene. So for example, this one, a Lamborghini parked in an ancient Greek theater in winter against the backdrop of a snow-covered mountain. For this series, I've kind of expanded some of the prompt, but I've still found trying to keep the prompt as short as you possibly can makes it the best. For these first few images, you really get that vintage, grainy, kind of outer mountain, vintage Soviet look. Some of the key prompts that really help to bring this out is Kodak Portra Pro 400 film at the end. You can see it's given all of these images very much a similar look of that vintage film camera. Another one is the atmosphere is dense and foggy. This creates an extremely moody atmosphere. We see if we move on to our kind of Soviet modernist buildings, the dense and foggy atmosphere is what really gives these images that powerful atmospheric look. If you want this kind of Soviet mountainous look, you go for snowy endless valleys surrounded by huge cliffs, or backdrop of snowy covered mountains. Another good one for these Soviet style buildings was Brutalist Architecture. You can also use people like Le Corbusier. I also did a couple with Mies van der Rohe. You can kind of add any one of those postmodern architects, put their name in, and you'll get similar buildings like these. As well as cinematic composition, which makes each scene kind of look like a shot from a movie scene. And again, with that aspect ratio of 7:3, you get the ultra widescreen. Another good one is style of film, director Zhang Yimou. I don't even know who that is, but apparently they make films in the style, so that was a good one. You can always search up famous directors that shoot films in a certain style that you want to take, so you can add that into your prompt. Again, the snowy covered mountains is a really effective one. Then I wanted to change this from snowy mountains into a rocky desert, so trying to keep that same atmosphere, that same mood, however using a desert setting rather than snowy mountains. So exact same prompts, except I've used rocky desert cliff faces, and that's all that I've changed in that prompt. And then that gets you this kind of look. Could almost be like a Star Wars scene or something. And obviously some of these images are upscaled. By upscaling your images, it takes it up into a really high resolution and makes it look even more crispy and photorealistic. We've done snowy mountains, we've done the rocky desert. Now I wanted to take a scene into the grassy tundra. So for these ones, I've again just described the exact subject, an old church building situated on the edge of a rocky tundra cliff. I noticed the prompt huge valley or endless valley is really effective in creating that massive wide open scale scene. I've gone Nordic mountains in the backdrop. The grass and snowy tundra, again describing where we want it. Cinematic composition, all the same prompts as before, as well as vintage and grainy photorealistic appearance. So you get a little bit of hint of graininess and that vintage look. And again, the most effective one is the Kodak Portra Pro 400. So you just want to keep these prompts really short and then just run lots of variations of it. A lot of these ones took me many variations and running it over and over again to get something good. You can also change the aspect ratio for these to 9:16, you'll see here. If you want some phone lock screens or backgrounds, the 9:16 is really good. See, this one makes a great phone lock screen. So even for something like this, I've kept the prompt as short as I possibly can. This makes it more effective. So I hope some of those images and prompts were useful to you and helpful if you wanted to start making images in this style, start expanding your creative horizons into more niche or vintage looks rather than just a typical photorealistic look. You can kind of start directing some of your Midjourney creations into more specific and niche styles. So with Midjourney, whenever I find a new style like this or something really cool, I'm just gonna simply make a video on it and show you the prompts that you can use to achieve that style. So keep a lookout in the future. We'll see what else is going to come up and what other styles we can get. You can see all the prompts I've shared today on the video. Also, on my community, I'll leave a link in the description below where I share all of the Midjourney PDFs and full exemplar guides where you can simply just copy and paste prompts and put them straight in, as well as some advanced prompts that I don't show on the YouTube. So you can check that out if you'd like. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful and keep a lookout in the future for more cool looking Midjourney videos.